Good evening, welcome to a night of Dota 2. We are going to watch ourselves 1.5/2 best of threes. We're watching, of course, the Yard-Wide Festival, and we're going to have 2 games in the winner's bracket today and 1 in the loser's bracket. Now, right at this point, there's 2 games kicking off. One is in the winner's bracket, it's the one that we're going to watch, Relax taking on Vhoul's Assassins. And the other one is one in the loser bracket that we won't be able to watch with Next KZ taking on Next Please. That's the best of 1. I believe you can still at least catch it if you have the ticket. You can watch it inside the game client. For us, though, we're going to see ourselves first Relax versus Vhoul Assassins, and hopefully afterwards, depending on how long this game lasts and depending on how long the next best of 3 can get delayed, we're going to see 4FC versus Courage, and that all depends, like I said, on how many games this is and how long the games are. So hopefully we're going to be able to see 2 full best of 3s. But there's no guarantee. At least we're going to see 1 full best of 3. Relax taking on Vhoul Assassins is going to be our first one. And we did make it into the draft. However, one thing that you might have already noticed, I do not have a co-caster with me tonight. Unfortunately, everybody seems very busy on Monday night. So, yeah, no co-caster for me. So you're going to have to just do it with just me. It's fine though, because the game itself should keep us entertained enough, as we have got a Nyx Assassin and a Slark removed from the pool. Relax, you're doing fine removing those 2, with the Visage and Doom removed by Vhoul. Now Doom is a hero that you don't normally ban out. Well, you ban it out if you know that your enemy is going to play it, which is something that Relax has done in the past, but it's not really one of their signature heroes or something. Or you ban it out if you're going to play a hero that is really getting shut down hard if you play against a Doom. Like, for example, Morphling. Not really a hero that Vhoul Assassins often plays, but definitely something that they could go for here. As we have seen Morphling making a bit of a comeback. Mirana is our first pickup though. Relax. Secure themselves the cat lady, or one of the cat ladies anyways. And we'll have ourselves either I hope it's not going to be happening, but I hope roaming Mirana, but it's most likely going to be either safe lane Mirana or off lane Mirana. Safe lane Mirana is the thing that Relax has been doing most of all. So we'll see what they end up going for or with that one. As we have got Vhoul Assassins with the second pick, no bonus time used just yet, and they go for a very unorthodox first pick.
Team pick.
Now Timbersaw, strong, you know, blah blah, but Lion, normally not a hero that you see banned out, so you know you don't really need to pick it up first, kinda. I have to say I'm surprised. So Lion first pickup, I'm secretly thinking like perhaps, well, and it's not secret if I'm gonna say it.
10 seconds remaining.
Perhaps this is mid Lion? I haven't seen that in ages. I haven't seen Waga play Lion anyways. So for now, maybe support. I do like Lion up against Mirana, like in terms of the hero itself. Lion is of course one hero that has 2 disables and an immensely huge nuke. And Mirana is considered, especially early on in the game, I mean she's mobile, she can do a lot of damage as well, but she is considered a bit of a glass cannon. And Lion, of course, working out very well against a glass cannon with this ult. The downside of Lion though is that that ult indeed does have a very long cooldown, and if you're gonna use your ult, you better make sure that the hero that you ulted is gonna die, or that there's some kind of big thing being taken off the back of that ulti, because the cooldown is too long to waste it on someone that will just get away. And I don't say only use it to kill steal, because also that is not ideal, because Lion, even though, you know, he wants to have some items, and he does need a blink dagger. That is something that is kind of mandatory on Lion. If in a competitive match, you need to have that mobility, because you're the initiator. Maybe with the Timbersaw, it's not that needed anymore, because Timbersaw himself is of course a great initiator as well. But you need some form, but you can't really take too much last hits, killing last hits rather, away from your core heroes, basically, unless you're a core yourself, which could still be happening. We have Venomancer though, picked up by Relax. Venomancer support. I say that, and yes, we've seen him different, but for now we're just gonna assume that it's gonna be straightforward here on this Yard-Wide Festival game. straightforward lanes. Venomancer support, Mirana there as well. I'm kind of surprised to see Venomancer pick up. Normally when we see Mirana picked up, we often see Banes with her. But in this case, they go for the Venom, they go for the slow.
10 seconds
Maybe a bit stronger on the harass compared to the Bane.
5 seconds
But not really
remaining.
something that you can really land specific arrows to. Yes, you can, of course, Gale, but
Reserve
arrows
time.
don't guarantee hit if you hit the Gale. Which is something that you can, of course, do with a
Radiant
Nightmare.
team bound.
We've got a TA and a Clockwork removed from the pool, so perhaps we're going to see something like a puck pickup for Relax. As the Viper and the Ancient Deprivation get removed from Vhoul, of course,
Radiant team pick.
still need, well, probably would expect to have a secondary support for Relax, although I'm kind of thinking, like, they have been running a lot of jungle heroes. So they've been running a lot of heroes like Enchantress Enchant, basically, in their lane. So that is something that I'm expecting to come out from Relax. We'll see, though. Vhoul Assassins, they have the first chance to pick something up, and they'll do it very soon. As well, actually, I say that they all do it very soon, but so far, I mean, they are the ones that still have not, they have not used a single second in their bonus time.
Dire
As
team
Invoker is the hero that Vhoul goes for, so we'll see Waga Invoker and no Lion mid. No Lion mid. Sad, sad. But I already mentioned, like, it's not expected. Not expected to have the Lion in a farming role, though I would like to see it. Like, it's... If he gets a good start, if a Lion does well early on, he
Radiant
can
team pick.
do so much. He can wreck you, like, completely. Maybe Slardar is a bit better. He's maybe a bit more tanky than the Veno and the Mirana so far. But I like Slardar actually picked up by Relax. I like it a lot because Invoker, of course, can go invisible. You've got the Amplify damage. But most of all, the Amplify damage that I find has the biggest impact here is on the Timber Saw, because he, of course, has reactive armor,
10
which gives him more armor the more he gets attacked. And Slardar, he doesn't care about that. He'll hit you, and he'll hit like a truck if you are having amplified damage on you, regardless or not if you have got that reactive armor up. So I really like that pickup. Hoping for him also that he can get some mobility items, because, yeah, you can indeed start hitting on the Timber Saw, but Timber Saw has got a Timber Chain, so not the easiest to go up against. And on top of that, Slardar is a strength hero, and Timber Saw overall a bit stronger against strength heroes than other ones. The reason for that being that the Timber Chain, the Whirling Death, takes away a bit of health and a bit of the primary attribute, which, if strength, will also remove some of your health. So basically double the hurt coming off from that Whirling Death. So Slardar, he'll have to bash, he'll have to get the crush off so that Timber Saw cannot move, and he have to get in there fast so that Timber Saw doesn't have any chance to react, aka Blink Dagger. Bane picked up now by Vhoul Assassin, so they'll go for that one. And they'll make sure that Mirana cannot have that anymore. And right now, I mean, they have got a lot of heroes with like, they've got 2 heroes with disables. Arrow needs to, of course, be targeted properly. And then you have got yourself the Crush, which is great if you have Blink. But before that,
10 seconds remaining.
you have to still get in range. And a Bane would work out very well with those, which is now, of course, no longer possible. Shadow Demon would fulfill the same role, giving the target time to position for whichever disable they want to land. And right now, the only thing they can rely on for setting things up is a Gale. It's the only thing that they have to reduce movement speed,
10
or getting the
seconds
arrow,
remaining.
of course, off straight away, which is not really guaranteed
5 seconds
all the time.
remaining.
We have a Silencer. I like the hero. Pretty strong against Evoker, obviously,
Dire
with the
team
silence. If there is going to be an aggressive tri lane from either side, like Lion gets harassed a lot. Like Lion is one of the squishiest heroes at the start of the game, and Silencer can throw an enormous punch with the
10
curse,
seconds remaining.
and as well, most of all, with the last word actually. So
5 seconds.
we'll see.
remaining.
I like the Silencer pickup. We'll have to see how it pans out, though, because I like all the heroes one by one on the side of
Reserve
Relax,
time.
but their synergy is not that amazing, and that's the thing that I'm like, that
10
lacks for me
seconds
at the moment.
remaining.
While for Vhoul Assassins, now they have got
Radiant
some great
team
synergy, because they have got a Nightmare that can set up, for example, for either a Sunstrike or an Earth Spike. Either one would work out, or both, better yet, both. And I mean, Timber Saw with the Whirling Death coming in then as well can just break the Nightmare and can just, kill the target off. And Yeah, I see the synergy in their lineup. They still need a safe laner though, and to be honest, like they are most likely gonna be on the safe lane indeed, not an aggressive tri lane, because the Bane and Lion both need quite a bit of levels and are not that ideal when going on an aggressive tri lane. Now they can be aggressive and they can start roaming very early on as well, but it's not ideal. Actually, for now, like with the Slardar picked up for Relax, I'm hoping that Mirana is going to be on the off lane with the tri lane Silencer, Venno, and Slardar, and then still having a mid hero picked up. In which case, I might actually like Relax's lineup a bit more, purely because the mid game momentum that Mirana creates is huge. And yes, Timbersaw can also do that, but Timbersaw doesn't have that big of an impact as early. Like level 6, Mirana starts ganking. Her ulti can help set up some things, and her arrow, of course, coming out from a tree line will be doing a lot of hurt, while Timbersaw doesn't really have a way to jump into a team fight without being seen. He'll just jump in and you'll know that, like, he's there. Lifestealer picked up by Vhoul Assassin, solid. Nothing really bad to say about that one. Of course, he is up against the Gale, which will slow him if it hits him before the rage goes off, but
5 seconds remaining.
other than that, like, he's going to be doing okay. Amplified damage is going to be hurting him, of course, but he is decent against the Slardar if he has a basher of his own, which is going to be needed because it's going to be the battle of the bashes. Wind Ranger picked up, last pickup for Relax, so we're going to see soon who is going where. If it is gonna... Oh, it's a Wind Ranger offlane Mirana then. Mid? I am not convinced, because, you know, Invoker has got this, like, great... Or decent last hit damage. Let's rephrase that. Decent last hit damage. As we do see Blue Banana and Waga actually picking up heroes that I was not expecting them to. At least I was expecting Waga as Invoker, since he plays the mid lane for Vhoul Assassins. Ah, they swap. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I was expecting this. So we are gonna have an Invoker on the middle lane. So, yeah, Mirana on the middle lane. Her damage, like the thing that Mirana lacks is attack damage early on, like base attack damage. So her last hits, she won't win it from an Invoker. It's that simple. Unless she gets pulled a lot. Unless she gets herself a Wraith Band and get some like get pulled some tangos and get some branches as well, then she might do okay. But it will not be easy. We'll see if that is indeed going to be the case though, as we are waiting for the Mirana to get picked up before we head ourselves into this game. Once again, you are watching the Yard Wide Festival. This is game 1 of a best of 3, and Relax versus Vhoul Assassins. Both are in the winners bracket. One of these two teams will get dropped to the loser bracket after tonight. As there tonight also we'll see, hopefully we'll also see 4FC versus Courage, in which case that is the same question. And let's see who they would face if they lose. The loser, or the winner is easy. The winner will face either 4FC or Courage. Like Relax versus Vhoul, the winners of that will face the winners of 4FC versus Courage, which is not yet known. The loser of this match, so for Relax versus Vhoul Assassins, the loser of this match will go up against Insane Gaming, who was able to beat Screen Squad earlier on this weekend, I should say, as they played in the loser bracket already. So that's something to keep in mind. Though, of course, I mean, loser bracket games are best of 1, winners bracket games are best of 3, and you kind of want to stick in the winners bracket because in best of 1s anything can happen, and you don't want to get like having a cheese strat used against you or something, and a best of 3 will prevent that from happening. You should always be able to at least have a second chance and expect some more cheeses coming out. But for now, Vhoul Assassins taking on Relax. Vhoul on the Radiant side will have Armen playing the Lion, Blue Banana on the Lifestealer, Waga playing the Invoker, Levkin on the Elf lane on the Timbersaw, and Durham will be playing that Bane. So that's everybody on the side of Vhoul Assassins. Now taking a look on the side of Relax. We've got Dread as a support silencer. Tiger in Space is actually Shaklo or Shakshlo. I hope that I pronounced it properly because I didn't do that previous time. But Tiger in Space is Shaklo, as we have got Fuck Off playing the Slardar and Dance in Trance playing the Venomancer. And if people don't want to use their normal names, then that's fine too. Carp will be playing the last one. Carp will be playing the Mirana for Relax. There he is. Picks up a dragon with it as well. Yeah, people have their Steam profiles on private, and I don't know who is who then if that happens, so it's a bit of a shame. Anyways, that is everybody on the side of Relax, and yeah, we'll see how they do, because I have to say, like, late game, neither team has got this like, okay, if this game goes 50 minutes, this hero is gonna wreck the game, as in, you know, neither has one of those type of hard carries. Now, Lifestealer is, of course, pretty decent. Slaughter is also pretty decent. But there's no real dominator here in the later game. So I think the early game is going to get very important. The amount of farm that Slaughter gets. I mean, Slaughter overall is considered a decent carry. But only if he gets an okay start. And that's normally his problem. Normally you see him, like, because people know this, obviously. People know that he needs a good start before he can actually start doing some things. So people know, like, shut down Slaughter early. But if he doesn't get shut down, after his first big item, he has to continue getting kills, because his farm is really not that fast. For example, compared to something that builds a Battle Fury or that can blink around, is of course a very it's a very big difference. He can't flash farm. He'll have to get his gold mostly from kills, and I actually would say that Relax will probably aim to end this at about 30 minutes time, because they can't really. Yeah, I think they can in a way, depends on how Vhoul is doing exactly, but they'll have a tough time if this game goes very late, I think. As the rune will be spawning, let's see, yeah, it's a bottom, there, get lucky with that, but it's a regen rune, so it's not really useful at all for anyone. We already have the Timbersaw rotating top, by the way. He was earlier here already placing a ward as well as a sentry, actually, very, yeah, semi-aggressive, I guess. Let's see if he's gonna, yes, he is. Oh my god, that is like exactly the same spot. That is impressive. Yeah. And that actually also makes sure that the lane actually gets pulled a bit less. But this was like exactly the same spot. That's awesome. But yeah, that's gonna be our off laner here. Of course, the Timbersaw. We got a dual lane right now. Timbersaw as well as Slaughter are here. Bottom lane is a dual lane with Wind Ranger and Venomancer. I like this because, yes, you can punish Lion very hard if you can just harass him a bit, because, as said, he is one of the more squishiest heroes at level 1. Mid lane is Mirana, played by Carp and Waga. Yeah, we'll see though. I guess Mirana is having an easier time than I thought she would have. However, I mean, with at least not being up against an Exort Invoker, but Invoker did pick up Blades of Attack. We did have a Wraith Band earlier on for the Mirana. Like I said, she kind of needs that. She now has 54 attack damage up against Waga's 50. So she's actually slightly higher as wow, I missed first blood. Timbersaw, what are you doing? Really? Is he gonna get a double kill? Like, this should not have happened. This is like, wow, this is the first blood I miss, like the first blood I miss in ages. Apologies for that one. But this is Levkin just getting an awesome start, and to be honest, like, what was Silencer doing there? Like, how does he get caught out like that? That shouldn't have happened. A mistake being made from Relax. And I think everybody has played a pop before where you are with it, or your enemy team has a Timbersaw that gets a good start. Ooh, they go up on the Venomancer. Let's see if they can. Nightmare being taken over by the Wind Ranger. Let's see if it's enough. Veno tries to eat himself through a tree line. He's turned into a frog. Nice Centaur stump coming out from the neutrals helping out, but with the open wounds, this should be a kill, especially since Lion comes in from the side. Bane is the one to take the kill, and this should have been the first blood, by the way. I really, like, seriously, that Centaur helped the Venom out, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough indeed, and this should have been the first blood. Nonetheless, it's on the same team, so I guess they're very happy with that top lane kill. As Timbersaw is getting harassed a bit more now. Still, I mean, that kill, gold, it's great and all that, but most of all, the most important thing is the experience that he gets from that, because normally that's the one thing that he levels slowest in, and once he has a couple of levels, he can be okay with his reactive armor. He can be getting closer to the lane to get more experience and miss less, and that's something that's happening right now, as we do have our men enter and rotating and looking for a gank, most likely mid. They're gonna have an invis rune by a Lion activated straight away. If he can get the Hex off, then everything can follow up on his Q. So we'll see if that's what they want to be doing here. But it doesn't look like it for the moment. We actually have Bane already rotating away. Or is he? He's just trying to keep out of sight. I think that just failed. It's daytime after all. No, so far so good. Carp has no idea that he's here. Let's see. Hex comes in. In comes the cold snap as well as the earth spike. Leap is still there though, just in time, and there was of course yeah, no nightmare would have helped there out there. The brain set was still there, but it wasn't enough to take him down. Mirana, just a hero with an escape mechanism. They did force a teleport out from the Venno though. I think Venno was thinking, ooh, Mirana's gonna die. That means I can take over mid lane and farm. Yay. But no. No such luck, as we have got a 4-minute rune spawning shortly. It's a regen rune. That's something that Durham will be, well, protecting or being happy with. Our Lion is gonna be happy with it. Gets his mana back. I guess that the Bane did not want mana. No. Doesn't even have a clarity. And while Lion normally is the one that doesn't really need mana because he can actually scale up his mana drain at some point, but well, oh well, have to make choices. Going for the Lion first, have and a Hex and a stun, as Levkin is just like, yeah, he's not getting a lot of last hits, but he is almost level 5, and he's up against Slaughter that's just level 4. It's very good, and it's actually just a bit sad for Relax to lose that first hero there, because I just put him so far ahead of everybody actually in terms of levels. Maybe not from the mid. Mid is sitting at level 5, both of them almost level 6 actually. So that means we almost have a Moonlight Shadow. Now during the draft I mentioned that I like Mirana as a hero, as an offlane hero better than I do Timbersaw, because she can overall start, or she will overall rotate when she gets level 6. And she actually skilled Moonlight Shadow, which was the one thing that I was kind of curious about, if she was going to do that. But Moonlight Shadow is there, and that means that they hopefully will get aggressive fairly soon. The downside of having Mirana on the mid lane rather than the off lane is that it's kind of obvious when she leaves. It's kind of obvious when she is indeed going to use her ulti. People are going to say, okay, you know what, everybody's missing from the map. They're ganking people and back off. And it's not going to be easy that way. But we'll see if Carp can get something going here, because I think he should be able to. I think he should be able to indeed, as we do have Bane and Lion back on the bottom lane, together with Blue Banana. Blue Banana is sitting on 34 for 4. He is highest on last hits. He is actually 10 last hits higher. Wait a second, Timber Chain away, Lefkin. In comes the sprint, but there's already a teleport incoming from the Bane. Timber Chain, ooh, nice dodge with the Nightmare, but it doesn't matter. I think Slaughter is already dead. Especially with that sprint on, he'll take extra damage. Yes, 15% extra damage. It's very substantial. And the rotation of both supports come top, and an easy pick off, nicely baited out by the Timbersaw, whether it intentional or not. It was a good bait. Oh, he forged the fishy wards. Oh, what? Why is it so dark? Fishy is in the dark. He's not a ward at all. It's like, what? Weird. That's just midnight fish. Oh, this Slardar, he has got a crush. He put on the haste already. Looks like he wants to try something, but he's not gonna get it. Like, in the meantime, bottom lane, open wounds up on a Wind Ranger. Has got Wind Run up again in a couple of seconds and should be able to just press that and run away. And will indeed do that. Perhaps... oh, no, Infest out. And now, pops the salve. He can eat a tree still, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. At least there is no mana for open wounds, but there are 3 stick charges. And the open wounds is at level 3. Never mind that. Why was I worried? Is it going to be a kill, or is Dance in Trance going to be allowed to stop that from happening? It was actually Mirana that stopped that from happening with the Moonlight Shadow coming on. So Blue Banana not getting a kill, but getting an awful ton of harassment up on that Wind Ranger. And next time that should be a kill, and next time there might not be Moonlight Shadow. And this Moonlight Shadow of course also forced out defensively, so not being able to use aggressively. Mirana 27-6 here mid lane. Well, Wagamam his Invoker is sitting on 34-13, so Waga getting the best of it, and I think Lion just yeah, was able to help Blue Banana finish the job. Basically, Wind Ranger was, I think, too far out with the lack of health that she had still. Arrow misses. First real go that we see Carp make on Waga, as the leap was just on cooldown. It's close, though. Something you always have to keep track of. Make sure that leap is available, and if it's not, you have to play so extra careful. Lefkin in the meantime, 15 last hits, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, because he got kills and assists. I was gonna say perhaps he's gonna get them more, but he's level 7. I mean, look at the levels. He is second highest level on the map, and the ones that are above him, 2 of them are in his team, the safe laner and the mid laner, and the other one is the mid laner of the opposing team. So that Timbersaw is doing amazingly well for himself, and we can't completely compare him to the bottom lane of Relax because they run 2 dual lanes. Wait a second, before I continue talking about that, we're gonna see a smoke up. Our man is getting blocked a bit though by creeps, can't get the Hex and can't get the stun, and shows himself now as well, as we also have Bane around. Bane who could, well, he will be visible. No wait, that's his own ward, what the hell. Let's see, amplified damage is there. They could dive this though. I mean, the Hex and the stun, it's all that's needed. Is Bane gonna rotate into it? He could. He's still hanging around. He's actually gonna try to pull the wave back. He's level 4 right now. That's one trouble if you're gonna be... He failed. He got a stack, I guess, but he failed the pull. But it's one trouble if you're gonna be having a heavy roaming support, because Lion is level 5, almost level 6, which is decent, but Bane is just very far behind, and Bane is a hero that has a very important ultimate. Yeah, they're gonna get the pull in time. Should be. Hello. Yes. But everybody got scouted out now, of course, by that one. So if Relax still dies here, that would be very surprising. They actually are going for the Timbersaw. Global Silence coming out as well, and Timbersaw completely out of mana. Gets some mana again from the stick charges, but one more hit might do the job. The amplified damage, it's not enough. The arrow barely hitting, or just missing rather Lefkin. He lives. Carp still chasing, gets impaled though, gets earthspiked, and will be forced back, especially with that Feeble up as well. Can't really do enough damage to try and hope to take a kill, so no kill on the board yet for Relax, and they have all 5 heroes here. They used Global Silence for this as well, which has a very, very long cooldown. And they couldn't get anything off the back of it, at least not kill-wise. Perhaps they can get themselves a tower, at least they get a fortification here. Timbersaw is on his way back though, and Bane is already looking for setting up a Nightmare. He will get harassed a bit by these wards, and since he is still level 4, he has got a bit of an issue with that. Oh, in comes the amplified damage again, just given that vision. Still pretty risky, but at least Lefkin knows that there's no arrows flying from the side, because Mirana has showed herself middle again. Mirana went for Aquila first, as we have got a pause. And a Nightmare. Where did he put a Nightmare on? Ah, on the Slardar. Voice problems. Slardar is in a Nightmare. Wind Ranger can still cast Jack was power shot. I'm actually thinking this Bane could be dead. The Timbersaw is very far away. He can of course Timber Chain in, but I'm not sure if it's enough. And there is of course, as you can see, no creep wave for Relax. So this is their diving opportunity. So let's see if they're gonna be able to do it. If they're gonna get a kill. Bane. Oh, run, Bane. Yeah, he's gonna be okay. Just run.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
With those boots of his. Tower. It's in deny range. Take care of the wards first before denying the tower. And are they gonna actually try to deny the tower? Yes, they are. So this tower should be denied. Unless Benno can make something happen. No, he tried. He placed a ward seeing if he could push the tower down, but no, he tried. Didn't happen. Oh, Timbersaw, you just went in too far. Gets galed, gets slowed, and will maybe make it out. The last word can still do some damage, but he's having his bottle up, so he's gonna be okay. Nightmare, impale up. Slardar, trouble for himself. The cold snap coming off as well, and he will end up getting picked off. That is 5 heroes dead on the side of Vhoul in total in this game. With no heroes down for Relax's side, on the Relax's side, or at least they haven't been making any kills yet. And the tower that they wanted to get, well, they got denied, so it's not going well for them at all. And I mentioned earlier that the mid to early game, especially early game, is very important for this game, because Mirana and Slardar, they do need to be getting quite a lot out of the lanes, and then rotating forward and started getting kills, and maybe they're gonna get a kill up on the Lifestealer. Double damage rune of Carp helping out, but there is already an armlet up on the Lifestealer, and he'll just rage and TP out. It was very nicely done for him. One thing that I want to point out is that Slardar has picked up a Vanguard, and even though I like the item on Slardar because it's just, you know, it fits into his pattern. He needs to be early aggressive. He needs to fight early on, and the Vanguard is good for that. Normally, I'm not a Vanguard fan, but I would prefer to see a Blink Dagger. Especially since they have no setup stuns for the arrows, and he can just be so much more aggressive, and then he doesn't have to chase down a Timbersaw or hope that the Timbersaw jumps towards him. It would make a big difference.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's one guy sitting at level 11. Is he the highest level in this game? Yes, he is. But for the experience, so the difference is not that big. Moonlight Shadow, where are they gonna go? Well, this is a bit of an awkward Moonlight Shadow because they might just run past this ward, and then the Moonlight Shadow is about to go off again. They do have a smoke as well, so that helps. So it was a bit of a double invis thing going on there, as Carp already shows himself again. So yeah, that's a bit weird and a bit wasted, I'd say even. Invisibility. So we do have Slardar continuing to farm. And might not farm for very much longer, because there's a Fiend's Grip if they find him. Hello! Global Silence coming out, stopping the Fiend's Grip. We still have Blue Banana there though, with an Invis Rune, trying to block him. There's an Open Wounds as well. The ping goes off. He knew he was getting blocked, and that's why he gets himself out. Global Silence against Fiend's Grip on Slardar, totally worth it. And that's not sarcasm, because if that Slardar would have died there, like I said, Slardar is a hero that needs to kind of be active early on, and therefore he first needs to get his farm up. So shutting him down is a very huge deal. So being able to prevent him from getting shut down is a very big deal as well. So yes, worth it. However, the attempt of getting a kill is not yet over. They might get a Venomancer. Their smoke is already bursted down. Or bursted down, what am I saying? The smoke is already ticked off because of the Venomancer, but they don't get him. And they also don't get the Slardar. Mirana might be in some trouble, or to use the arrow. In comes a Nightmare, setting up for the Silencer perhaps. Open Wound's already there as well. Blue Banana in the rage will get that kill. And in comes the Finger of Death. Gets the Slardar as well. Mirana, her leap already used. Will get picked up as well by the looks of it. It's very tough to run away from that combination. Double kill for him. And the Wind Ranger, the one that was just coming around to try and help out our team, will pay for that as well. 4 dead. 4 for 0. It is 9 for 0 in this game, people. 9 for 0.
Is under attack.
And now that Global Silence to stop the Slardar from going down. Yeah, that was good. But also was the cause that they could not fight back here. I mean, that was just deadly. Like 4 dead and a tier 1 tower. Right now, Slardar's, or rather Relax's chances to get back into this game are relying solely on Vhoul making mistakes. Nothing else. Their own play might be perfect, but if Vhoul plays is perfect as well, they would have the game in their hands. And we see the spike in the gold graph as well. Experience graph tells the same story. Relax is in a tough spot, and they have to make something happen. Like, they are the ones that try and get a pick off somewhere, go for smoke, or do they really want to wait until Slardar has a Blink Dagger ready before he can actually be aggressive? And even though Mirana was doing okay-ish mid, look at the difference between her and Invoker right now in terms of net worth. Like, it's 2.5k or so, and that's insane, because Mirana, overall, like, she was doing okay-ish on lane. Yes, she got outlasted it, fair enough. And her enemy team did get an out tower, so that helps out as well. But she really does not have the items like you would expect from a solo mid. Moonlight Shadow being used. Let's see where they're gonna go. It's gonna be difficult though, or at least there's some sentry wards up. More wards in the dark. They're gonna just go for Roche. Do they have some sort? Yeah, they have a medallion. And this is something that Vhoul is gonna expect apparently. So yeah, because right now everybody missing from the map. Overall, you'd think, you know what, nobody knows, but if everybody's missing from the map, then yeah. They get the amplified damage, of course, from Roshan as well, so it goes very fast, and they do get it before Vhoul is able to get in. But perhaps Vhoul will still be able to find themselves a bit of a pick-off there, if there is a mistake made from Relax. But it looks like they're just going to have to deal with it and back off. Good pick-up. Very needed as well. Relax did need a bit of a boon somewhere in the game, and they got it. And they're going to change team speaks. And that Aegis might allow them to be playing a bit more aggressive as well, which suits their playstyle just so much more. Like, I think a lot of, like, most people will have seen Relax play in the past. And they have a fairly aggressive playstyle. A fun one as well, but just this game, they got aggressive on before they could do anything, and their feet like never got off the ground. They never started flying to get those kills, and they're just dying. And it's starting to get to the point where they really do need to have a mistake from Vhoul to get back into this game. And they need to get, like, it's not all bad to be far behind, because if they get a kill right now, they get, of course, a lot more experience than they otherwise would, because the levels on the side of Vhoul are just a lot higher than the levels on the side of Relax. Now, the kills are fairly split out, and that's why I'm showing this one, because one of the things that has been a reoccurring kind of theme is when you get a kill, or when you're like let's rephrase that. If your team is doing very bad early on, it has happened before, I've casted games before, but if you have a mid-game lineup where you can get kills, you can all of a sudden get ahead real fast because you get yourself killing spree gold, the bonuses, the bounties that you get from the killing sprees that there are. And right now the kills are very spread, so the only one that actually has a killing spree is the Lion. Now there's of course a bright side. The Lion overall is a fairly squishy hero, so not a difficult hero to actually kill. However, he's also the one that knows that. He's also the one that sits at the back of the fight and disable people. And
invisibility.
It's also only one. And there's nothing else, no other sprees on this map. So there's only one bounty on the heads of Vhoul, which is something that is actually pretty decent for them. Can't really give away, like, at some point someone is gonna die, and you can't really give too much away there. As both gold and experience are 7,500 in favor of Vhoul. Power shot's coming through, just harassment though. They know that they cannot defend this tower, so they're gonna try to get as much in return for it as they can. So they're pushing a bit on the mid lane where Lion already teleported in. This tower is not in an eye range, so at least it won't get denied. That's something. And the rest of Vhoul also backs off, so that means the tier 2 will stand for a little while longer, and Shaklo will be able to get some more experience by himself, since the wave is pushing in towards him. And actually Vhoul rotating around, not really getting kills, might be working out well for Relax. They're getting some time. They're getting some time to farm up their heroes, to get some items going, as there's a blink dagger now for Slardar. And he didn't actually finish up his treads, which is something that you know, from the looks of his inventory you might expect him to, but no, he went straight blink dagger. I like that a lot, and this could mean a big change. This might be the difference that Relax needed. This might be the initiation power and their aggression tool to get this game going their way. Mirana has got a Yasha as well. Now she is still really squishy because she has not got a brace or drums or anything like that. So, but she has a Yasha and she can make a lot of difference as well. She hits pretty damn hard. And is gonna hope that Slardar is gonna take all the heat from the fight. And Slardar is, of course, as you call it, the tank with the Vanguard. With an interesting build as well. It's completely skipping the bash, which is something that is very strong against Lifestealer, because if you can just bash him, then you don't have to deal with it. And overall, having a man fight as a Slardar with the Lifestealer is not good, because, you know, you have decent health, especially with the Vanguard, and Lifestealer does more damage the more health you have. So, not ideal at all, and if you're not going to be able to bash, you're not going to be able to stop him from doing damage, so, yeah. You've got Lifestealer with the Sanjin Yasha. Just finished. I like it. It's a bit of a race car build, which you normally see if a Lifestealer is up against something like a... something like a Weaver. But if you're up against a Slardar, not that bad, because Slardar overall is a very fast hero as well as Mirana with leaps and at some point probably drums and phases and sprints. Then comes the Timber Chain, Infest out, leap forward, is still going to be enough, and in comes the Global Silence as well. They might be able to pick up the Timber Saw, yes they do! Very nicely done, but the Fiend Script will hold Slardar in place. Should be allowing them to pick that up. Finger of Death coming out as well. Moonlight Shadow, not enough to keep him up, but he will have an Aegis. So far is one Timber Saw for an Aegis. Can they save the Slardar? Another arrow comes out, hits upon Blue Banana. He'll go down. Night Shackle coming out from the Wind Ranger as well. On both Armen and Durham. Armen lands a 2-man Impale, which might be enough, but in comes the Blink and the Crash. Lion being blocked by the Venomancer Ward, who will be in a lot of trouble. Lifestealer actually popped back, still getting shackled up. Tornado coming out, will kill off the Venomancer. Double kill for Waga, as it will be Slardar getting himself out of there. It was a 3-for-3 exchange, but with the Lifestealer buying back, that fight ended up in favor of Vhoul. However, you know, if you buy back, you buy back to win the fight, and he bought back to make the fight even. So I actually put this in favor of Relax slightly, especially since it shows that they can trade kills evenly while being so far behind, because they are far behind. Of course, there was an Invoker that did not die that entire fight. Got a lot of experience from that as well. We'll be sitting at level 14. Mirana didn't die that fight either. The only thing, like the people that they... Or did Mirana die? Was she one of the dead ones? Well, Silencer and Venomancer died. So there you have your two supports that that did go down. Slardar's Aegis went down, of course, as well. But other than that, it's... Like, Slardar technically did not really die. So he is still doing okay. They need to kill Invoker at some point though, because Waga is just having an amazing game right now. 4-0-3 his score. Not died yet. Santa Midas just making sure he keeps getting ahead, keeps getting that experience, which for an Invoker is more important than the gold. Timber Saw working to force out in Bloodstone. They could opt to deny this tier 1 middle. Which I was actually expecting to. Yeah, well, there we go. That means that the second tier 1 tower that goes down outside of Vhoul is denied as well. Like, both of them are denied right now. That seems such a minor thing, but it's a pretty big difference because, like, if you're not getting your gold from kills, you have two other sources of gold. You can go into the jungle / lane, so okay, just farm, which is something that your opponent is getting too. Or you can get towers, which is something that your opponent is getting too. So if you can... Like, if your opponent is denying you gold, that means, like, in terms of towers, that makes a big difference. Unless they start killing things right now, unless they start being a lot more aggressive than what they were before. We do have them trying to go for push here on the tier 1 tower, which is almost down already, so the start is there. But in comes the teleport again, and again a Lifestealer sitting inside of a Timber Saw. Let's see if they can make something happen. Let's see if they can get a kill. It's 5 versus 3. Everybody is here on the side of Relax. Mirana with an Invis rune. He's gonna go for the arrow. Oh, it's upon Waga. They're gonna go for him. Amplified damage coming out as well. Nice Nightmare, but the power shot is still enough. Wind Ranger gets a dominating streak. Timber Saw tries to get himself out. The Fiend's Grip holds Slardar in place, and this time he does not have an Aegis and gets fingered to death. It's 2 for 2. Waga ended up buying back. He's almost back in the fight again. As Carp as well as Dread are running for their lives right now. It looks like they should be able to make it out just fine. But, or is it? Waga doesn't have a tornado yet. He's running like to the wind right now. He's running super fast. It's the downside of buying back right now. If you buy back, you have to make sure that you can get something out of it. And I guess maybe he got out of it that they backed off. But again, I would call that not a real bad fight for Relax, purely because of that buyback on Invoker, and they finally get him down. They finally get the dominating streak off his back as well. It does go to the Wind Ranger, but at this point she got a mech with that, and she's starting to build into a Scythe of Ice. So this Wind Ranger is actually the highest farmed hero on Relax. So it makes sense that she has the last hit, and she gets some extra gold with that. But Again, they're able to fight back while being behind on gold. In comes a Gale, just some harassment for the moment. Blue Banana already hit by that as well, has to be careful. Shackle comes out. Tornado EMP burns away all the mana of the Venomancer, who's already struggling to begin with. In comes Arrow, doesn't hit any hero though. Bit of a standoff here on the top lane. 5 heroes from Relax. Again, I of course mean bottom lane. 5 heroes of Vhoul now on the bottom lane as well. It's Arena Dota on the bottom lane. Another Lifestealer sitting inside of the Timber Saw. Let's see what they can make happen with that. Illusion of Timber Saw will walk forward first. They realize that though, especially since the real one is sitting right there. Can they initiate? There's no global silence for another 8 seconds, so it should be up during the fight if there is going to be a fight. And with the Venom Wars, they're pushing and starting to get very annoying. So yeah, this is backing off for Vhoul. They are so far behind, or ahead. They were so far ahead, but they're starting to lose momentum. They do smoke up instantly, which I believe got scouted out by this ward. Teleport top, going to try and stop Mirana from farming here. Mirana, who has got a new item coming her way, and it's going to be the Vhoul of Meta style, actually, which is pretty good. Very good, actually. Especially if there's going to be maybe some orchids being built. Let's see, Fiend's Grip. Yeah, she will still die. But at least she bought her item before she died, you know. That's nice. Venomancer. Aghanims is his item of choice by the looks of it. I like Aghanims on Venomancer, don't get me wrong. But I think it's a very early one. However, with Windranger picking up the mechanism, it's actually not that bad. I would have maybe preferred to see a Force Staff on him instead. But Aghanims, so I can accept that. I can agree with that. It's okay. It will, of course, also gives a substantial amount of sustainability. So the reason why I would think about a Force Staff is to force people away from getting stunned up by things like Lion, Impale and stuff. But also because if Lifestealer initiates on you, you want to be able to get away. And that's why Force Staff is really nice. But if you have got enough sustainability to live until you can just press your R button, then you're going to be okay with that. You don't necessarily need a Force Staff though. I'm still thinking that he will get that at some point. Tower? Not gonna get denied. Lifestealer just takes it with that armlet of his. It's gonna be the 4th tower down on the side of Relax. No towers denied on their end. And there's 5 heroes in the dire jungle of Vhoul. Including a hasted Lion, who is the one to carry the mechanism for his team. Ooh, that arrow actually hit. But they're not going to go in on it though. It's too risky. And they don't have the ward on the high ground either. Sorry for awful carrying my word. They only have the Venom ward. Another arrow that misses, or that does not hit, I should say. Rage being used for that one. Ooh, Windranger might be in some trouble here. Bane comes in as well. He has got Fiend's Grip. And actually, Bane already has a BKB. 29 minutes into this game. Vhoul is starting to take control again. Rotating with all 5 heroes now middle. Up against 5 heroes as well. In comes a Global Silence. And they're going to go for the Bane. The Crush already missed. He blinked after he crushed. So it's kind of misplay from him. And he will get zapped to death again. As they really do not like him on the side of Vhoul. Levkin might be in some trouble. Timber Chains gets stunned before he can though and will go down. Double kill for the Mirana. The rest of Vhoul has to back off. Very nicely done by Relax. They kept their cool despite the misplays. I think they might have been able to get more out of that exchange, but they get the Bane as well as the Timber. It's good kills. Used a lot for that though, of course, as you did hear the wow, I did not finish that sentence. I don't know what I was gonna say. Wow, that was awkward. Global silence. I think it was a global silence. Yeah. Okay, well that was a brain fart right there. My bad. Happens sometimes. Ooh, Carp is saying hi to Lifestealer in the jungle. Blue Banana is farming, by the way. He's farming like crazy. He has his AC ready. We already saw the rest, but that helped his team so much. You're up against a Slardar, which of course gives you minus armor. Then you also can have the medallion on you. So having that Assault Cuirass, given that armor to the rest of his team, is so incredibly important. I really like it. Scythe of Ice up for Invoker as well. I mean, they're starting to get pretty damn farmed. I think it's admirable for Relax to have done as well as they have, considering their early game not going all too well. We almost have the Aghanims ready up on the Venno, just needs about 600 gold. We have Slardar with about 100 and 200 gold away from his BKB recipe, which would finish off his BKB. Scythe of Ice is something that Wind Ranger is going for, of course, as well. About 2k gold for that, a bit less. And then we've got the Silencer with the 4 staff. I guess, you know, I mentioned earlier that I would like Venno to have build a 4 staff instead. But I guess in theory, you don't need that because Dread can 4 staff him away from things if need be, or 4 staff his teammates away. I kinda like that. Mirana sitting on at 1900 gold again after finishing up her Manta style. Having a quite okay-ish games after having not a very strong start. But then again, none of Relax had a strong start, so they are the ones to be more aggressive, and they are the ones to be starting to catch up. And I still think that later on in the game, Vhoul is gonna still have an advantage. Wait a second, Nightmare being set up, Tiger in space, and some trouble. Arrow will hit up on Bane though, and the global silence coming out was just for, or sorry, the last word coming out was just for just for getting away. Well, I hope my brain doesn't make this into something it's something like normal, like just forgetting the last word of a sentence. What the hell is that? Well, how does it, like, that's stupid. I don't think about my sentences before I say them. Why should my brain just stop working and you know, think about other stuff? Wow. That's weird. Oh. Anyways, we've got ourselves just a bit of a standoff right now. It's very simple because Vhoul, of course, have tried to push in a couple of times now. Haven't really been as successful as they probably were expecting to, so they're just going to continue farming up a couple of more items before going in again. Before trying again, and perhaps they're waiting for the next Roshan to be up, which, well, first, of course, we're going to have to see the Aegis vanish. I think that one is... Or actually, we already saw the Aegis vanish. What am I talking about? Next Roshan will be up soon-ish. We'll know in 3 minutes how long it will take. But yeah, and the same thing goes for Relax. I mean, they've been behind basically the entire game, and they're starting to get more and more comfortable in their movements, starting to gain a bit of confidence by the fights that they've been able to take and trade evenly with Vhoul while they were behind. So that's a nice achievement for them, and they are not in a stage yet to initiate. They know that they are still behind, and they have to still be very careful. So for both teams, it's better for now if they don't initiate, unless they find someone out of position, unless they find something that will put them in a good spot if someone gets caught out. You know, the standard thing that casters always say, oh, he's caught out of position. But it's so true. Like, if that happens, then Jesus, this is so, like, I'm not fully used to this just yet. This buff to Ghost Walk. Look at him go! It's like he has a haste rune. He's gonna find the Slardar soon. He knows where he's there. They're gonna try to go for him. He has a Scythe of Ice. They could kill him off. There's a lion around, and Night Stalker, or sorry, rather Lifestealer, is not that far off either. They're gonna go for him. Blink forward from our men. In comes the global silence to try and help out. The Moonlight Shadow is enough. This haste away. Moonlight Shadow coming in. Another sentry ward goes down. He pops his BKB. Tornado therefore doesn't hit. He is still running, and he's invisible. He blinks. He lives. He lives. He does his name justice right here. Fuck off, he says. No chasing me, I am Slardar, and I have the help of my team. A lot of ultimate juice to keep him up though, but he was otherwise cut out of position, thank you. But yeah, that's just the way it goes, that's the way it is. So yeah, that's an illusion. A good play from Vhoul. I like that they are maybe a bit hesitant play from our men, or at least it looked like that. Where Lion was a bit late with jumping in, but nonetheless, it was good play. Arrows will fly in, will actually hit upon the timber saw. Can't really go in on it, but can at least slow the push down. Ooh, our men. I talked about this blink dagger during the draft that you need to have on a Lion, and he's already making it work. However, even though they are able to take down the mid tower, which by the way got denied by Venno, it was the Wind Ranger, Shaklo, or the Tiger in Space, who was able to push down the bottom tier 2. So in the end, it's a tier 2 trade, while one was well, one was denied and the other one wasn't. So you could call this a favorable trade for Relax. Still, their global silence is on cooldown though. And the Moonlight Shadow is up again. I mean, that's a very short cooldown at level 3. 75 seconds. Global Silence. 28 seconds before it's up again. We do have Roshan soon up. It's just a couple of seconds before it's up again. So that is going to be our next kind of either reason to fight or a reason to sneak in a Roshan kill. It really depends on how fast Relax could potentially get it down. I don't expect Vhoul to actually try. I expect him to respond to Relax trying. But it's still like this timing, when it's this even, when one team, when neither team doesn't want to make the first mistake, basically. This is when the dire advantage comes into play. And the dire advantage, like, this is a big thing. Because an Aegis will allow you to make a mistake. It's basically your fail-safe. And your failsafe, like if your opponent does not have a failsafe, well, that's a big difference right now. Oh well. By the way, people, I'm hoping that I'm still going to be able to find a co-caster for the rest of the games today. As, like, I like solo casting, don't get me wrong, but it's better with 2, you know? And it's better for you too with 2. So I know that, and I do try to find co-casters, but sometimes, as apparently Monday night is very difficult. Friday nights as well. Saturday nights actually as well. Well, it's not always easy to find co-casters. I mean, after all, it's not something that they're like. I cannot pay them yet. Sometimes I'm able to pay them though. Sometimes I'm able to, depending on how well we do on a day. Talking about how well we do on a day, well, it has actually nothing to do with how well I do with a day, but it has something to do with how well White Yard Festival does, because you can buy the ticket inside the game client if you want to support this tournament. This is of course their first Dota 2 tournament, and we wanna support them in that. And you can buy the ticket for that if you want to support them. Watch inside the game client, and on top of that, get yourselves a courier of a baby Naga sitting on a... what's the English word for that? A flying fish. Flatfish. No. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up Wikipedia. We have it in a pause anyway. Wiki... Dutch word? Rog. Yes, that is a word. And I actually googled it properly, so I'm gonna select English now, and then it says, oh god, a betodia. Is it really the word? That sounds so stupid. A betodia. Yeah, it's a thing. Basically, it's a bat in the sea. Betodia. Well, it's... Huh. I never knew that was a word. But Betodia is a Betodia is a super order of cartilaginous fish, commonly known as rays. So yes, I knew actually that one, because there's also a ray in World of Warcraft that you fly on. But there's a ray that you can fly on as a Naga Siren Baby Courier. Jeez. Okay, so a Betodia. Wow, the things you learn during a cast with Shira Gaming. Yay! Learn something new every day. Well, I do, so that's good. You can never stop learning things. I learn stuff every day. Every time I cast, actually. I always have something wrong, and someone always, like, improves me, or, like, says what I had done wrong, and then I know, like, okay, learn something new. Anyways, back to the game. As well, actually I say that, but it's a bit of a standoff role right now, so it isn't that bad that we took a bit of a detour while that pause was going on. The standoff is gonna hopefully soon end because Roshan is such an important factor in this one. And I was kind of expecting someone to already try to go for it. Now, Relax have got, of course, the Veno wards that they can scout out Roshan with, that you can just place a ward in the Veno pit so you can know when it's up again. But they don't know it yet. They haven't placed the ward just yet. Maybe he's gonna do it now. He has finished up his Aghanim's, by the way. On the other side, you've got the Sunstrike scout out from Invoker, of course. They can check out if there is a Roshan going on. So both teams have got a decent way to check the Roshan. Arrows from Iran, actually. They have a lot of power shots. There was a Tornado from the Invoker scouting it out as well. So yeah, they know it's up. It's just really all about who is going to be the first one in. And is the other one going to know about it? A Manta Ray! Thank you, Heavenly Spear. Yes, not just a Ray, Manta Ray. Yes, awesome. A Betodia. Well, there you have it, Betodia. Or Ray. It's more like a Ray of Light. Light Strike, a Ray. Oh well. We have a gem up. I do like that. Like, they're not specifically up against an invisible hero. Yeah, Moonlight Shadow is there, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I like the gem because map control is so important. Knowing where your enemies are is so incredibly important. In the meantime, bottom lane has got some split push going on, which is something that Mirana can do very easily, of course, with her Manta style illusions. That got picked up by the tornado, but there's no real follow-up. It was just a long tornado. Or, whoa. Smoke up, though. They're looking for her. Or they're looking for the Veno. They're gonna find the Veno as well. Yeah, you're so dead, Dance and Trance. And perhaps that is the opening that they were looking for to go for Roshan? Maybe. Maybe. They would almost force out a buyback. Does he have it? No. He misses 100 gold. But they should be able to try to go for it though, because you can't afford to let Roshan go this way. You just can't. There's no way. Roshan, without amplified damage, not dropping as fast. It looks like a Nightmare up on an illusion. Looks like they're gonna get it though. Are they gonna try to steal it? Nope. Neither that. They get the arrow up though. Blue Banana blinking from the line, gets a cheese as well. It's just illusions that they fight though. And in the end, that one Veno death, that just gave them a Roshan. Just how important being out of position is. AKA, yeah, how bad it could be. Because that Aegis is gonna give Vhoul a failsafe, and Relax, who was already behind, is still a bit behind on golden experience, of course. I mean, that continues. Is like Relax is in a tougher spot than they were before, and they still cannot be the ones to initiate unless they find a pickoff. Unless they find themselves someone out of position, and they can't fight that. And regardless, it's very difficult to find that if you do not have vision, which for now they've got one observer ward, of course, but this one is not going to last very long because the Bane still has the gem, and they should probably counterward that at some point. So it's a very difficult situation for Relax to be in. It's definitely not over yet. Like they're like Vhoul is not out of the woods. They're doing well and they are ahead. But everything has to be going perfectly for them. Perhaps they can find a pick off on the Wind Ranger who is trying to farm here. There is a Fiend's Grip up as well. And they should be able to pick her off. Hello, Nightmare. The Wind Run is already done. And getting a Hex up. Ooh, Meteor falling from the sky. They don't even need the Fiend's Grip. And that is Wind Ranger's gem. And that is a big deal. And that's a dominating streak for the Invoker. I was talking about killing sprees earlier. The gold that you get from that. That is 600 gold for Waga instead of the normal like 200 something.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Global silence. Oh, wow. Almost missed that one. Mirana leaps herself out. No, gets hexed from the low ground by Waga. That's going to be another pick off. Relax. They are not doing fine. It's just Like, really? You know you're behind. You know that you don't have an Aegis. Why are you on the wrong side of the map by yourself against a team that has got Blinks, Hexes, Infest, Timber Chains, and more Blinks? It's just not good. It's actually just bad. Like, like that shouldn't happen. I am disappointed. And it looks like Vhoul is going to take this opportunity to try and go high ground. They've got an Abyssal Blade right now up on Blue Banana as well. And with the Electricity, I mean, yeah. He's going to hurt. He gets hexed up, but that's basically a wasted hex coming off from Tiger in Space. Because they can't go in on it. They need Mirana before they can actually fight. They know that. Vhoul knows that. They're just going to do what they can. The Shackle doesn't latch. They wanted to try and latch the Shackle to the Lifestealer, or to the Lifestealer to the Lion, but didn't work out. Melee Rex dead, range Rex dead, and not even a range Rex. They're just gonna back off. Free Rex taken purely because people are on the wrong place, the wrong time. A lot. Like really a lot. It shouldn't happen like that. It's very simple. You group up, you farm up together. You group up behind Mirana or Slaughter or both. Let them farm. And make sure they stay alive. And yeah, we found a theme for our first game of the night here. Being out of position. The theme of relax for them. A lot of people out of position. Vhoul, not that much actually. They and even if they are, like they've got such a mobile team that normally the cavalry is there in time to save the damsel in distress. So yeah. Out of position for relax a lot. They now group up-ish. I say that they group up, and they are with 3 people in the Radiant Jungle, but they're not entirely grouped up because Dread is still farming in the middle lane, and Venom was still at the Ancients. He now joins them as well, but they have to just be so careful. Again, though, it's still not over. It's still, you know, kind of up in the air, but it's Vhoul's game to give away. They're gonna try to take down Lion here, though. Lion who's going for Naganims. Shackle comes out, will of course latch. Here comes a Gale as well. Is there enough damage? Yes, there is, especially with the Slaughter around. Down he goes. Nicely done. Good pick off. Out of position, perhaps. But space created, which is something that, of course, is very good. Because this tier 3 tower is taking a large beating right here. And Venomancer does not have a teleport. Wind Ranger did, she teleported back. We also have Slaughter here again. Tornado coming through, still lifts up the Mirana. But EMP makes sure that nobody can chase. Now they try though, the haste is up for Slaughter. Can he make something happen? Can he stump someone? That's gonna be the question. In comes the Global Silence, goes for the Timbersaw, gets hexed up and abyssal. Blue Banana opens up on him. Still the BKB might allow him to get away from that one though, as the Bane is looking for a Fiend's Grip on someone. Can he get a Fiend's Grip up? He's actually on the way out. He's gonna leave his team to rut. He's gonna leave Blue Banana to rut. Blue Banana the one to get picked up. Invoker, of course, already down again, as well as the Timbersaw. Nicely done by Relax. And the Bane just seeing it happen. Put on his BKB, walked around a bit thinking, you know what? No, I'm not going in here. Have fun, guys. I'm out. So they got the Lion on the bottom lane, which of course was decent. They still lost their tier 3 tower. They got the Aegis top. They killed off the Invoker, which is very good. But if it's good enough, I'm not sure. Because Invoker bought back. It's already back on the top lane. The Global Silence is on cooldown, which is the thing right now that Relax can do to stop pushes from happening. Those ults, Moonlight Shadow and Global Silence, those are their control strategies, apart from BKBs that are now on cooldown as well. Nice Shackle, though. Hits up on the Bane, but Wind Ranger cannot... Oh, cannot afford to go in on that one. That was already Silencer gone for. With the Lifestealer using his Abyssal on that support, and is now going on the Rax. He can do that just fine and backs off again after. Seems like there's no problem in the world. Maybe now there is though. Getting hexed up, getting crushed upon. Starstorm coming out as well. Dominating streak ended, but the Fiend's Grip coming out on the Slaughter. But without the Lifestealer, where's the damage? Lifestealer though, half boots of travel, bought back in action as well. Gets the cheese from Waga, now goes for the Wind Ranger who gets hexed up and tries to get herself out of that place. Waga with his BKB on, doesn't get him just yet. We have Lion going for his ult, doesn't get the kill, gets cold snapped by the looks of it. Or no, that's his own team. It's still gonna be, yeah, Bash's Slaughter outside of his base. Miranda might be able to keep him up. Oh, Shackle! Shackle, and the last two surviving. This might just be Vhoul completely overextending. They did get the Rex. They should have backed off afterwards. Waga is gonna go down again. This is a bot back Lifestealer, a bot back Invoker, and a bot back Timbersaw. All dead again for the second time in a row. They do get the ranged Rex middle. That's of course up to the creeps, and they do get melee Rex, which is decent, but if it was needed to die like that, I don't think so. But that is, like, it's frustrating because Relax just won the biggest fights of their lives, right? And they themselves didn't have to buy back a single target. They just has to take advantage of Vhoul overextending over and over again. But they still lost buildings. And yeah, they won the fight. But they have to start being the one to initiate and going high ground now. And then of course take their own buildings off the back of that. Invoker probably is one of the hardest turtle heroes there is, together with the Timbersaw, with the Chakram and Tornadoes and EMPs. So good luck trying to go high ground. They still have 1 minute before Invoker's back up again though, and there's no buyback. So this is their chance. And they need to do it now. The focus fire coming out as well might be enough. We have Slaughter from the sidelines. Might be attempting to go up on the Timbersaw. There's already a Hex up. Crush. They want to go for this Lion. This is going to be enough. Global Silence coming out as well. Yeah, it is. Lion drops. Can they end this? Can they do this? Can they get a lane of Rex in return? There is still 20 seconds without the two core heroes of Vhoul. And it looks like they're going to get it. They're gonna get at least a melee Rex. Ranged Rex will probably drop as well, as Carp is taking down the Timbersaw, who's dead for another minute and also does not have a buyback. At least they can save the Mirana from Damnation. Bad news is that they don't have the tier 2 towers to rotate towards the mid lane. They smoke up, they need to defend again, they need to start pushing maybe middle or take down the Roshan. This is a bit of a tough situation for them, because they could try to just go for it, just go for the throne. Screw mid lane, screw top lane, win the game now. They get a Hex up on the Lifestealer, they get him down I think as well. Oh, the cheese! He still had that! Open wounds up on the Veno. Veno will drop. Abyssal used on the Slaughter. Veno actually still alive for the moment, and it is gonna be Miranda that picks up the Lifestealer instead. That cheese, not useful at all, and now Waka is the last ones remaining alive on the side of Vhoul. 75 seconds without the Lifestealer. Can Lion and Invoker do this? There's no Tornado yet for a little while. 3 seconds until it's up, but that is just delayed. The Crush misses though. Waga goes for the Tornado. Defensive one. In comes the Timbersaw. Again, the bashes. Waga force-steps him away. Just tries to buy time for his team to come back alive, as they do get a Hex up on the Timbersaw. Amplify damage and the Crush to finish it off. Wind Ranger with the kill. Global Silence coming out. Waga, arrow. It's on the line. Waga will make it back to base, but again, he's the last one surviving because Lion is dead and his tier 4 tower is about to drop as well. And this might just be Relax taking the first game while they have been behind basically the entire game. They get Waga as well, and they get the game. This is GG Relax. They get it. They are doing just fine. They get game 1 of this best of 3. They are the ones to go into the second game with knowing that they only need one more to continue in the winner's bracket. Of course, a best of 3 is what you're watching for the winner's bracket of the Yardwide Festival. Vhoul taking on Relax. One more game could be the end of it. We're gonna see it though. Can Vhoul force out a third game? Or is Relax gonna make it a 2-0 against a lot of expectations, including my own after the start of the game? Brilliantly done from them, and I have to say, Vhoul just, like, that was, like, I at some point I mentioned it. It is their game to lose, and they ran into a brick wall on top lane and just fed. And paid the price for it, the ultimate price. Well, that was a bit of a throw, maybe then, if we can call it that. We're gonna see if they can take a second game, and therefore force a third. Stick around, I'll be right back.